Hey, it's Drybear. And if you're like me, you're super excited for the release of Diablo 4, which is only a few days away. I've been working on tons of builds for all the classes, and I'm starting on doing leveling guides for all the classes as well, but I wanted to have a global general video that goes over the theory crafting and idea of how to level quickly and efficiently in the game. So that's what the video is about today. I'm going to go over all the mechanics you'll run into, the things that give you experience, the good ones, the bad ones, the do's and the don'ts, how to make your character stronger at a regular pace, and what to look out for. Then keep a lookout on my channel for specific class leveling guides that focus on the best skills to use, full leveling builds, and everything in between. So whatever your first class is that you're leveling, you'll have both the foundational knowledge from this video and the class-specific knowledge from that one. But first, you should come hang out with me on my live stream. I'm live every single day on twitch.tv/Drybear. If you don't come hang out with me in the community, then the next time you eat salad, you're gonna get a piece of green stuck in your teeth. So let's get started with the guide. We're gonna go through everything that you need to know to level effectively, recommendations for how to do it, and what to look out for. The first thing you're gonna want is to have a build for the class that you're playing. There are some abilities that at low ranks or without synergies or legendaries are very effective, and there's some that really need those synergies to be of use at all, and you don't want to be caught using the abilities that aren't that great. With that being said, I will give you the caveat that I'm not going to tell you how to have fun, right? This video is more about making you aware of what's available for leveling, but if it's your first playthrough, I definitely recommend just play however you want, mess around with however you want, play on whatever difficulty you want, enjoy the game, because games like these are going to be replayed over and over. Your first playthrough is to be cherished and to be respected, so just do however you want. But this is for the people that want to know more about how to level effectively. And to do that, there are plenty of very good leveling builds out there. I'll have some on my channel as well, and on my d4builds.gg profile, I have tons of builds that you can look at for inspiration or ways that you can just level if you're looking for something to just have as a reference. And if you're super new to Diablo 4, I do have a beginner's guide that's very short. It's only 6 minutes long. It goes over all the mechanics that we're not going to talk about this video directly because they're kind of basic, but if you need that jumpstart primer, I have a video for that as well. Next, let's talk about quests, which are going to be your largest source of XP in general. There are 3 different types of quests that will show up in your journal. There's still events you'll run into the world, but we'll talk about those in just a minute. There's 3 different types of quests that you'll pick up as you're playing the game. There's going to be your main story quests, and they're going to have this sharp yellow color that you see here in your journal, and they're going to show up on your map with these exclamation points and there's extra bits there. This is your main campaign quest. You want to do these, you have to do these, and to move from act to act, you will need to complete them, and they will pop up in your journal as well. Throughout the world and in towns, you will find side quests. All of these blue quests are optional. Some of them do give good rewards, but mostly they just give you an enriched experience because some of them have some pretty fun storylines. And they also give you experience in the game as well, so you can level up your character. So you can choose personally whether you want to do these as well. There's a third type of quest in your journal, and that's going to be these white/gray ones. These are your class quests. Anytime, or class or character development quests. Anytime there is a new mechanic that will unlock for your class or for your character, it will show up in this white/gray coloration and have the plus sign on them. And that means you can unlock the alchemist to upgrade your potions. You can unlock your character's passive, like Necromancers sacrificing minions, or Sorceresses getting enchantments, or Druids getting the spirits, or Barbarians getting their expertise. These will show up in your journal as these white ones. You want to do these as soon as you reasonably can, because sometimes they take you far away, but it does unlock crucial parts of your character development. So primary, you want to be doing your main campaign quests. Secondary, you want to be doing your character development quests. And if you want to, I recommend doing them. Some of them are fun. You can do the blue quests, which are optional. While leveling, you want to keep yourself alive. You have your health pool, which is the red orb here on the left. And then you also have a built-in healing potion to heal yourself while you're leveling. When we just talked about unlocking the alchemist and upgrading your potions through the alchemist, this is what we're talking about. You get additional charges that do that, and that is one of many ways to keep yourself alive. However, the question, if you're wondering how to best keep yourself alive, when you run out of healing potions, what do? Well, you can refill your healing potions many ways. The first and easiest way is to find globes of these potion charges that drop off enemies that you kill. These will just drop randomly from enemies you're killing, and they'll drop on screen. They look just like this. When you collect it, you get a potion charge. Next to this, though, is the healing well. These will be a full charge up for all of your healing potion charges, and you'll find these in dungeons and open world areas as well. When you're fighting a difficult boss, you'll notice these little chevrons, these little tick marks that are on their health bar. What these are is when you cross that HP percentage threshold against this boss, they will usually drop 2 healing globes, and that allows you to sustain yourself throughout the fight. That way you don't have to have like perfect amount of healing potions or play perfectly to do the entire boss fight. Every time you cross one of those thresholds, you'll get some healing, so you can plan around that as you're killing some of the campaign bosses. While leveling, you have plenty of vendors that you can interact with, like the alchemist, the blacksmith, and the occultist that will give you upgrades and different options. But the most important while leveling is to keep up with your alchemist. You unlock it pretty early. At level 10, you can upgrade your potions. Your potion will have a little up arrow on it when you have a new potion upgrade available, and you can see on the screen as you hit multiples of 10 and sometimes 15, you get new potions. So you want to be getting the herbs out while you're outside, collecting gold, and then increase your potions permanently for the rest of your playthrough. It can make your leveling experience so much better if you're doing this regularly. Next, let's talk about proper etiquette for your gear while you're leveling. There's actually some very important pieces of wisdom that I can pass on to you while you're leveling here. Most of your gear while leveling doesn't really matter, which means that you shouldn't get overly attached to one thing or another. But there are some very big mistakes that you can make while leveling that can hurt you in the long run and slow down your leveling process. First of all, for many characters and classes, you're gonna need 1 or 2 or sometimes 3 very important legendary powers that make leveling a breeze. However, those powers get stronger when you put them on your 2-handed weapon or your amulet, and some people like to have a big fat legendary weapon with the legendary power that they need. And this is one of the biggest traps you can run into while leveling, because all of your damage, every piece of damage you do, is originated from the strength of your weapon, which means that as you're getting leveled up and you're getting stronger, you're going to want to replace your weapon regularly with something that's higher base value that gives you more overall attack power and offensive statistics. So I would recommend finding the powers that you need, either through the Codex of Power or if they drop and you get lucky, put those on your rings or amulet. Put them on those. You get the least amount of stats from those. And anytime you get an opportunity to get movement speed on your boots, more stats or more armor on your armor, or a better weapon that has higher overall weapon damage plus weapon speed, replace it. Just replace it, get it stronger, check in on it regularly, and get value from that. You have the option to upgrade your gear when you go into town to the blacksmith, and I would recommend doing this very sparingly. You actually want to save as much gold as you can while leveling. You do get value from some upgrades if you find a really good item, but again, you're looking for high efficiency and value. Only upgrade items if you feel like you're going to hold on to it for a very long time. Never upgrade weapons, because most of the time when you're doing that, you'll end up replacing it in 5 to 8 levels anyways. You'll want one that's stronger and better. So just be very wary of spending that. And when you get to unlocking, like you finish the capstone dungeon, you unlock the new world tiers, you start moving in towards Nightmare and Torment and doing difficult content, you'll need as much gold as you can get to re-roll your tree, respec, re-talent, change your gear, apply legendaries, upgrade items. You will need a lot of gold. So you don't really get a lot of value out of upgrading every item you get, and you don't get a lot of value out of imprinting legendaries while you're leveling as well, unless the exception there is you're going to put it on a ring with as good a stats as you can get, and you just care about having the legendary power, and the rest of the time you put the best possible gear on your body and in your hands that you can. As you go around doing world events, which will be orange triangle icons on your map, they'll pop up, they'll have this orange ring of influence you'll want to step into. You'll earn the gambling resource in Diablo 4, which is obols. It's that blue double coin icon. You can take those over to the Purveyor of Curiosities, a vendor that has a little bag icon, and you can roll for items. And actually, it's good to do this while you're leveling. When you have a fresh character, a fresh account, your max obol count is going to be pretty low. If it stays the same as it was in previous tests, it'll be about 550. So spending this regularly means that you get a chance at a nice new base item yellow with crazy stats, or you get a chance at rolling a legendary, which you can extract at the occultist to either add to your Codex of Power or just have in your aspect inventory to apply to an item that's even better stats later on. But you do want to be doing the world events for nice experience and then spend the obols to get free upgrades as you're going along. Partway through the first part of the campaign, you will unlock mounts. Use these all the time. They are awesome. They're really, really good. They've done a good job of leveling these up and making them better. You'll get free mounts through activities on Twitch. I'm hoping to be in that drop program as well. So if you come watch me, you should be able to get a free horse mount. But there's also going to be ways you can unlock them in the story. These can be ridden anywhere. They have incredible movement speed, and they're able to be used once you unlock the campaign. So progress the campaign far enough, you'll get your stable, you'll unlock new mounts and bardings and things that you've collected, and you'll be able to use these to get your character to move around. So combine the mount movement with teleporting in and out of dungeons and teleporting through waypoints, and you can get to where you're going a lot faster. The next thing that's worth talking about for leveling is going to be the Renown system. So if you see at the top of the screen here how it says Fractured Peaks, the zone that I'm currently in, and there's a Renown amount, and it tells you what activities I still have left to do to get the rewards. Renown is huge. You will want to max out your Renown by the end of the game, and you actually do get nice rewards along the way. You also get experience for some of these as well, so it can help you level. So as you're moving through the level, unless you're trying to be world first perfect efficiency, I would recommend completing these along the way. So when you look on the map, you'll actually see that there are matching icons, right? So up here, you can see that there are dungeons that you need to complete for this region, and it shares an icon with the dungeons that they have on the map. You have these statues of Lilith, you have all these activities, the waypoints that you can collect, side quests, all that kind of stuff. So as you complete these and finish your Renown, you get amazing rewards, and one of the best ones that you get out of Renown is going to be unlocking additional Paragon points, which you will have once you hit level 50 and beyond. And those Paragon points only come from Renown. You have 200 that you get from leveling up to level 100, and then there's 20 more that you can get just from completing Renown. These give permanent bonuses to all of your characters once done. So while you're leveling, I recommend just keeping an eye out for them and finishing them. One of the most important of these is going to be the Lilith statues, which you'll find outside in the world laying around. You just have to find these and collect them. They're just collectibles that exist. But once you get them, they do have permanent upgrades for you and all your characters. So getting them and finding them and completing them, if you really want to, you can look up guides online of where they are all located. I'm sure there are already a bunch for Fractured Peaks, and there's going to be even more for the rest of the game as well. You want to find these and unlock these at least once to get that bonus. The other bonus that you want to get is completing strongholds. These are unique areas on the map that will show up with this red skull with a hut over it icon, and they are actually quite challenging, but you really want to do these for several reasons. One, the strongholds will give you massive boosts in XP. They have good chance at loot as well, but they also unlock unique new areas in the zone that only exist once you've completed that stronghold. So you want to do these all, and if some of them if they're too hard, you can come back and do them again later, but you do want to make sure you do them. Sometimes you get access to new vendors, unique drops, or some items in the game that you can get only by completing the stronghold. They're pretty tough, but you want to make sure you complete them and see what comes out after them. Plus, it's a fun part of experiencing the story. An easy way to level up is by completing the dungeons, which you have to do for Renown anyway. Those are kind of straightforward. They give you a one-time bonus, and you complete it for the Renown progress as well. But there are also very fast entrances called cellars, which are these really tiny, like one-room dungeons. They're exceptionally fast to complete. You just pop into them. They're usually the holes in the ground with a little latch or hatch that comes up. Jump down there, clear it, and get out. And there's one trick that I would use for all dungeons, instances, and cellars, and that is the option to quick exit or homeward bone out of a dungeon. There's going to be this icon in-game that has reset dungeons in-game. They recently changed this for like the third time on how you access this function. Obviously, you can just teleport to waypoints or locations on the map or get on your mount. But if you're deep in a dungeon or at the end of a dungeon, you don't want to walk your way back out, you can just activate this quit dungeon option, which will just take you to the entrance of the dungeon once you're done. In the latest version of the game, they added this to the emote wheel. So you hold E, you open it up, you go to the utility tab, and you just hit exit dungeon. You'll channel, and then boop, you'll go right back to the entrance and exit, or you'll just be taken to the entrance from the outside and be able to leave at your leisure. But this is a nice speed up technique to just jump in the cellar, finish it, use your exit dungeon out, go into a dungeon, go to the end, use the exit dungeon out, and keep going through the world where you were without having to spend a lot of time walking back and forth. While leveling and moving about the outside world, you'll find resource nodes like ore from veins as well as herbs that are on the ground. You have a pretty unlimited hold or storage for these. You want to do these regularly. The herbs can help you craft lots of things, but are also very useful for upgrading your potions as you level up. And you also get value from having the ores as well. So you want to be grabbing these as you're going along. It'll make your leveling process a lot easier to finish. And as we mentioned before, world events are huge. It's very easy to run by and complete these. On launch, I'm guessing there's going to be a lot of people completing them together in groups. And they give great XP, decent loot sometimes, and they also give you obols, which you can use to roll for random loot, which can sometimes be really good as well. You'll find them as these orange triangles on your map, and then they'll usually have these orange circles around them and a timer that shows how long that event is going on. But as you're going around completing your dungeons, finishing out your cellars, doing your campaign quests, doing your class quests and your side quests, you want to be doing these along the way because you get decent return for them. Super easy, super fast to complete, and it's a nice little bonus. And that just about sums it up for me. I think that covers all the basics of leveling, how to approach the techniques, and what to look for and how to be efficient. Look for my class-specific guides going over best skills and how to manage weaknesses and strengths of that class. But I wanted to have a general video that goes over leveling and focuses on the overarching mechanics, so that can be a separate video that you can reference. If you found value in the video, leave a like down below, comment, it helps me with the algorithm, helps the video get seen more and more people, and come by my live stream to hang out. I'd be happy to talk to you or have answer any questions you may have. If you enjoyed yourself today, leave a like down below. You can support me and my work on Patreon and view Patreon exclusive content, link in the description. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one.